My name's Emily. I'm a junior at Holy Cross. I'm majoring in political science and studio art, and I'm currently studying abroad in St. Andrews, Scotland. St. Andrews is a small town located about an hour north of Edinburgh, and St. Andrews University, which is named after the town, was founded in 1413, so it is the oldest school in Scotland, and it's the third oldest in the United Kingdom. This is one of the first things that I see every morning. So this is Daphne, and that's Donald. So this is part of my pretty normal routine. Just make myself some breakfast and then walk over to the library. It's a 30-minute walk from where I am. I'm in the David Russell Apartments, which is basically as far out from St. Andrews as you can get with student accommodation. But it was a beautiful day today, a little bit chilly, but nice and sunny. This building here is the main library, which may not look like much on the outside, especially compared to dining, but it is nice on the inside. So this is me watching my art history lecture. They are posted asynchronously this semester. They've started to move back in person. Unfortunately, mine are too big to be in person and accommodate. And then I did some readings. Luckily, these were pretty short readings. I managed to get them done within about 2 hours. This is mainly focusing on feminist activist art, LGBTQ art, and art in the civil rights movement. Then for lunch, I went to my favorite coffee place, Taste, with my friend Izzy. Got a sandwich, some tea. This is when the weather takes a turn for the worse. It was forecasted to snow, but I didn't believe it would snow because it wasn't cold enough. Next thing I know, it's snowing. Bear in mind, all of these videos are taken within about 10 minutes of each other. So these big buildings here are all the STEM buildings, and up ahead you can see the Sports Center, which is only about a 10-minute walk from where I am. Just got back to the flat, and the ducks are back. Show up outside our window like clockwork. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Always save your pasta water.
Thank you.
So these are both herbs.
Herbs.
Basil.
Basil.
Oregano.
Oregano.
I've also been told by my flatmates to emphasize that any American who would like to study abroad must know
what this is.
It makes tea.
You don't microwave tea.
No.
You don't make it on the stove.
Then 7:45 rolled around and I was on my way to swim practice. We're at East Sands Leisure Center, which is where swim practice is. And it's almost 8 o'clock and it's still kind of late outside. Okay. Shout out to Miss Amy for the ride every day. This is Caitlin. Which is one of the 3 beaches at St. Andrews. So I did say more when I actually recorded these, but the wind was so strong that you couldn't hear me. But at the end of this video, you can see the pier, which is where they do the famous walk every year.
Rice pudding, Tesco club card price, fruit, Lindt chocolate club card price, Milky Bar chocolate club card price. Picked up some fudge for the car ride home.
The main society that I participate in is swimming, and I'm so thankful that I joined this team. I've met so many amazing people from all over the world, and I've gotten to travel across the UK to go to meets and competitions, from Birmingham and Sheffield in England to Dundee, Aberdeen, Stirling, Glasgow, and Edinburgh in Scotland. So I have a tutorial today. It's an art history tutorial at 11. It's currently 9:50, so I'm gonna have to leave at around 10:30 to get there on time. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a medieval history lecture. I'm taking a class on medieval Scotland and the English Empire, when in Rome, you know? So I did this lecture for about 35 minutes, then I headed out to my tutorial. So tutorials are small group discussions that are led by a tutor who is normally a professor. They are about an hour long. Then met up with my friends Haley and Catherine. Haley also is here with Holy Cross. We went to North Point Cafe, whose claim to fame is Will and Kate going there every once in a while. There are 3 things that St. Andrews is really famous for: the university, golf, and as a medieval center for religion and as a pilgrimage site. As I mentioned earlier, St. Andrews University was founded in 1413 by the Bishop of St. Andrews, Henry Wardlaw, and that was confirmed by the Papal Bull by Pope Benedict XIII in the same year. Originally, it was a center for religious learning, and boys attended normally starting at the age of 14. The university has two main quads, and those are St. Mary's and St. Salvator's, which is also called Sally's. St. Mary's was founded in the 16th century and is still home to the School of Divinity. King James Library is also located here, which is one of the prettier libraries on campus. Sally's quad dates back to the 15th century, and the medieval chapel tower and chapel still stand today. Just outside the quad is the mark of Patrick Hamilton, who was the first Protestant reformer to be burned on the stake in Scotland. There is a superstition that students will fail all their finals if they step on the pH. I have accidentally stepped on the pH a couple times last semester, and I didn't fail my finals. St. Andrews is also considered the home of golf. The sport has been played here since the 15th century and was also the first place to host the British Open. This July, the 150th British Open will be hosted at St. Andrews. The old course, which is located right next to West Sands, used to have 22 holes, but that was changed in 1764 to 18, which became the standard around the world. Leading on to the 18th hole of this incredibly difficult course is the Spoken Bridge. Any player who crosses this is following in the footsteps of the greats. St. Andrews has three main streets, and those are North Street, South Street, and Market Street in the middle. As you may guess, Market Street is full of shops and restaurants, and sort of operates today as a main street in St. Andrews. However, when St. Andrews was originally built, it was North and South Street that were the main focus. Both of these streets converge onto the cathedral, which is now burnt down. It burnt down during the Reformation, so thanks a lot, Henry VIII. This morning, my flatmate Rian and I had to go grab some groceries. On the way, we ran into Alexis, who's also here with all the girls. Took the Lade Braes into town, which is a Fife public path. Lade means lead, and this was originally intended to bring water to the priory at St. Andrews, so that would be over where the cathedral is. Here you can see the Botanic Garden, which is free for all St. Andrews students. The closer you get to town, the more residential the path gets. After going to Tesco, we made a quick pit stop at Gorgeous, which is a cafe in St. Andrews. Secured myself a scone for breakfast tomorrow. Favorite food here, amazing, so good. Then we were headed back to the flat. As I mentioned earlier, I live in David Russell Apartments, which are student accommodations that accommodate 5 people per flat. There is a shared kitchen and communal space, but you have your own bedroom with an ensuite. BRA, you could either be catered or self-catered. I am self-catered, which means I make all of my own food. So that is a laundry room up ahead, which is not in the building, but it's not too far of a walk from any buildings, really. Of course, Donald and Daphne were sitting right outside.
Welcome. Hello, I'm Rin. I'm from England. This is my bedroom. We still have stockings on our doors from Christmas. I'm first year studying psychology. This is Dara's bedroom. This is Mia's bedroom. This is Emily's bedroom. This is the kitchen. We're decorating for Easter. Hence the chicks and the Easter eggs. This is our kitchen. This is our beautiful magnet collection. It's quite extensive.
Even though DRA flats normally have 5 people, mine only has 4.
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm a first year from Romania and I'm studying international relations and Arabic.
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm from England and I'm a first year studying astrophysics.
That night we all made dinner together. Haley and Catherine came over and I made asparagus and lemon risotto, some guacamole to start it off, and they made roasted broccoli. of course, Daphne decided to join the party. And we finish it off with some homemade apple turnovers. Even though St. Andrews is a small town, there are plenty of opportunities for university students to experience while you're here. One of the most popular examples are balls. There are balls pretty much every single week. I attended one last weekend. It was my first ball here. It was a glitter ball, which was organized by Saints LGBTQ+. They had multiple performances by drag queens, including a finalist from RuPaul's Drag Race UK, Ella Day.
Well, we are going to be welcoming Ella Day very, very soon.
Can't include any of the performance because all the music is copyrighted, but here's a little clip. There are plenty of opportunities for you to explore Scotland. The public transportation here, although it's not 100% reliable, they do cancel a lot of things if the weather's bad. But if the weather's good, it's really easy to get out and about. St. Andrews does not have its own train station, but if you hop on a bus at the St. Andrews bus terminal, you can get to Lukers, which can get you pretty much everywhere in the UK. If you're planning on studying abroad in St. Andrews or in the UK in general, I would highly recommend getting a rail card. It's £30 per year, but it discounts each of your train tickets substantially. There's also the Young Scot card, which gives you free bus passes if you're in Scotland for 6 months or more. So the university also organizes trips around Scotland. I went on one with my flatmate this weekend. We went to the Eastern Highlands, which was really cool to see. Thank you for following along my week in the life at St. Andrews, and I really hope you enjoyed the video.